Hey, Truth Seekers, 158th post here. A while back, I did a post predicting what day the assassination of Barack Obama might come. It's so sad to say, isn't it, that we're trying to make these types of predictions, but it's just because it's such an obvious script, and the point of trying to predict it is to expose the truth in what is going on right now. So, in exposing that truth, I want to go back in history and I want to look at the 8 presidents to die while in office of the United States of America. Before we get into those 8, let's look at the first president to almost die while in office. That was the 7th president, Andrew Jackson, nicknamed Old Hickory. The name Dickinson is the man who shot Andrew Jackson, Old Hickory. Dickinson has the gematria of 44, just like the name Hickory. And of course, Barack Obama is the 44th president. We're going to see how that number 44 ties in with the first president to ever die in office, William Henry Harrison. So, William sums to 34 in gematria, Henry sums to 34, Harrison sums to 48. If you put it all together, it sums to 116. 116 is the same as 911 upside down. He's said to die from illness. He became ill March 26th, not long after taking the presidency, and died exactly 1 month into his term, 4-4, much like 44, April 4th, 1841. If you wrote the date 4/4/41 and summed it, the numerology would be 49. He was the very first Whig president. Whig has the gematria of 47, like the word Republican, like the word president, like the word Caesar. He was the 9th president. William Henry Harrison was the 9th president. So far we have the first president to die on April 4th. Interesting. The word kill in gematria sums to 44. The next president to die was the 12th president, Zachary Taylor. He was working at avoiding the Civil War, which came after his death. He became ill on July 4th. It should be noted that the word ill sums to 33. 9 plus 12 plus 12 equals 33. I is the 9th letter, L is the 12th. He became sick on July 4th, 7/4. Ill on 7/4. There's their pairing of 33 and 74, like we so often find in these conspiracies. And then he died 5 days later, 7/9/50. The numerology of that date, 7 plus 9 plus 50 is 66, a very important number to these people. If you write out the word 33, turn it into numbers and sum it, it too sums to 66, showing that relationship between 33 and 66. The third president to die in office is 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. Abraham has the God gematria of 26, the God number. Lincoln has the gematria of 34. We've seen a lot of 34 so far. 34 is the 9th Fibonacci number of life. He was shot April 14th in Ford's Theater and died early April 15th, 1865. If you wrote out that date 4/15/65, it would sum to 84 in numerology. Barack Hussein Obama, who's from the land of Abe, has a birthday of 8/4. The name Obama in Jewish gematria sums to 84. United States of America, with the reduced method as I teach, sums to 84. Think of George Orwell's 1984. Obama's birthday, like I said, August 4th. 2 years ago, August 4th, 2012, Serena Williams was receiving the gold medal at the Olympics. And while the national anthem was playing for the United States and the U.S. flag was being risen, as the lyrics were sung, "But our flag was still there," at there, the flag releases and drops into the crowd. You can search for that clip on YouTube. That was Obama's birthday 2012 at the Olympics. This year on Obama's birthday, James Brady was murdered. At first it was just reported he died, then a week later it came out he had been murdered. And I haven't heard much since, but what's significant about that is he is known for saving President Ronald Reagan, who was formerly the 33rd governor, In 1984, he got a gun bill passed in his name. And then August 4th, 33 years after being shot in 1981, he dies on August 4th, 2014, Obama's birthday. Think about the symbolism in that. A man dying who saved a president from a bullet, dying on this president's birthday. So also with Abraham Lincoln, when Obama first became president in February of 2009, he reopened Ford's Theater with an actor playing the part of Lincoln. That theater had been closed since 1977. It was reopened for the first time in 1968 after the Lincoln assassination. In 1968, after reopening, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on April 4th, 4468. Later that year, Robert Kennedy, would be assassinated on June 6th. We'll get into that at the end. The next president to die after Lincoln was James Garfield. Garfield has the gematria of 44, like the word kill, if you can believe it. He was shot at 9:30 in the morning, emphasis on 9-3. He died 11 weeks later, September 19th. He was replaced by the 21st president, former Vice President Chester Arthur. Garfield was the 20th. Chester Arthur the 21st. The name Chester has name numerology or gematria of 33. See, guys, these familiar numbers. Garfield, 44. And he goes down to assassination. All right. The fifth president to die in office was William McKinley. He was the 25th president. He was shot on September 6, 96. The word Freemason sums to 96. If you sum the ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry, 31, 32, 33, it sums to 96. He died September 14th, 1901. He did not die from his gunshot wound, however. He died from gangrene, which has the gematria of 44. He was replaced by the Vice President, Teddy Roosevelt, who was formerly the 33rd governor of New York. 33rd governor. What do you know? All right, the sixth president to die in office, you guys. Warren G. Harding. Warren, 34. G is the seventh letter. Harding sums to 43. Put it all together, 84 again. Like Barack Obama's birthday. 84. Like United States of America. This is the most curious death out of all presidential deaths. If you look it up, it's hard to even find out how he officially died. Some say it was poisoning, some say it was suicide, but let's just look at the date. August 2nd, 1923. 8/2/23 added up sums to 33. The word Armageddon sums to 82, a lot like the date August 2nd. He died unexpectedly, out of nowhere, on a date with a numerology of 33. Suicide was a suspicion. This reminds of the recent death of Robin Williams, August 11th, 14. 8 plus 11 plus 14 sums to 33. He's also blamed with suicide. Earlier this year, Philip Seymour Hoffman died on the 33rd day of the year, February 2nd, on the 4th floor with 44 bags of heroin, as it was reported. Same numbers. Think about all the articles you've seen over your lifetime comparing actors and presidents. What I'm trying to tell you is they're all the same, because the presidents really are just actors. Warren G. Harding was replaced by C.C. Calvin Coolidge, the 30th president. What do you know? The seventh president to die in office, one most people know, FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin has the gematria of 49. He left the White House, his very last day ever in the White House. Remember, the gematria of White House is 133. Has that 33 coded into it? His last day in the White House was March 29th, 1945. On that day, he left for Warm Springs, Georgia to get treatment for his legs. He was hoping to walk again. The numerology of that day, if you write it out the full way, 3 plus 2 plus 9 plus 1 plus 9 plus 4 plus 5, gives it a date numerology of 33. The shortened methods, 3/29/45, sums to 77. Two very important numbers to the Freemasons. He went to Warm Springs, Georgia on the 33rd parallel north. Georgia is the fourth state. It has a gematria of 44. The only other state with a gematria of 44 is Wisconsin. FDR was previously the 44th governor of New York. Teddy, remember, was the 33rd governor of New York. He died April 12, 1945. That's a date with the God number numerology. 26, God number in gematria. He was replaced by the 33rd president, who right away started testing atomic weapons, on the 33rd parallel in New Mexico. And then on August 6, 1945, a date with a numerology of 33, it was dropped on Hiroshima. 33. Truman created the CIA, Air Force, NSA, pretty much all the stuff that spies on us today. Mr. 33. And 1 month to the day after the JFK assassination, Truman released a letter that was published in the Washington Post saying how the CIA needed to be scaled back to be essentially nothing. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Let's look at JFK's assassination and see how obvious it is what happened. So, John has the gematria of 47. Kennedy has the gematria of 33 and 42. John F. Kennedy can sum to 68. That's been a curious number in the Ebola story, also coming out of Dallas, where JFK was assassinated. He died 11/22/63. 11/22/63 added up, it sums to 96, like the word Freemason. 11/22 sums to 33. November 22nd is the first day of Sagittarius. Sagittarius in gematria sums to 144. 144. The phrase mark of the beast sums to 144. The word corporation sums to 144. Not a nice number. He was the 35th president and the only Catholic president. The gematria of the word Catholic is 35. Just want to show how Freemason and knowledge sums to 96. He was shot from 411 Elm Street by Lee Harvey Oswald. Lee has the gematria 22, Oswald 74. Put it together, 96. Harvey with the reduced method sums to 34, that ninth Fibonacci number. The next most famous Kennedy assassination, and there's been several of them, and I have a post on this. If you look at all the deaths in the Kennedy family, they all have a lot to do with 33. It's amazing. Robert Kennedy was shot by Sirhan Sirhan. Sirhan has the gematria of 33. Sums to 66. Robert is a 33 word, so is Kennedy. The name Robert Kennedy sums to 66. He was killed June 6, 66. In World War II, that day is known as D-Day or Doomsday. Doomsday has the gematria of 33. If you write out the word 33 and sum it, it sums to 66. And, just look at it, you guys. It's just the same numbers over and over. In history, the mayor of Chicago, Anton Cermak, while shaking hands with FDR, was shot by a man named Giuseppe Zangara. Giuseppe sums to 44, right? He didn't die from the gunshot, but he died days later of a different illness, colitis. And colitis has the gematria of 33. So we saw that with the presidents too, where they'd get shot, they'd become ill, and then it would be a span days later where they would die. It's just a history of ongoing, repeating patterns that won't stop until we stop it. And this pattern is likely going to continue with Barack Hussein Obama. Remember, the first president to die in office was the ninth, William Henry Harrison, who died on 4/4. If Obama is to die in office, he will be the ninth president to do so. He will be the 44th president. You see the symmetry with William Henry Harrison? Right now, our national media is comparing Obama to Julius Caesar in the Roman Senate. This is being said on all media networks, on the web, even in the Senate. Ted Cruz used Cicero's speech in a likeness to Obama. You see how this is just real theater playing out before our eyes. And originally, when I made that March 15th, 2015 prediction for an Obama assassination, it was based on Julius Caesar. Why? Because he was assassinated 44 BC on the equivalent of March 15th, which is the 74th day of the year. 74 is significant because it is the number of the martyr. The word Jesus sums to 74. The word cross sums to 74. This 74 is a very important number. English sums to 74. Gematria sums to 74. Think about our nation's birthday, 7/4, July 4th. And think about how these people continue to do things by the numbers, by the same patterns. So if you put it all together, you can see what's coming. 3/15/15 is a date that has a numerology of 33. It's the 74th day of the year. It would fit the pattern. Does that mean it's going to happen that day? No. Why? Because there are other days that would also line up and fit with the pattern. That is the trick in identifying what is coming, because there are multiple possibilities. So that's where you got to put on your thinking cap, look at the history, and do the math. If you guys want to help me narrow this down, we might truly be able to project the date that this is really going to happen. I might already have it. That might be the right date, but it might be another one. April 4th, just weeks later, is also another curious date, as well as a few others. President's Day is very interesting. So keep your eyes peeled, truth seekers, and apply this knowledge. And if you find anything, please feel free to share it. Thanks as always for tuning in.